Welcome back to another episode. Today we're diving deeper in understanding the science and art of energy healing and how you can use this revolutionary tool to unlock the full potential of your mind. Join me on this episode as we explore this exciting realm of possibilities and how you can use energy to shift your identity and create an extraordinary life. Let's dive straight into it. The first concept that we need to understand is that of quantum mechanics, that principle that says that everything in life is interconnected and that energy is the basic building block of life. I want you to imagine a vast spider web on a forest. Every strand in that spider web represents the basic building block of energy. Just as if you're too zoomed in, you might think that the strands are separate from each other, if you zoom out, you will see that everything is interconnected, and every single strand of that spider web creates a network that is very complex and that it communicates with each other. This is the same way in which the universe works. Everything in the universe is made out of particles and energy fields that interconnect with each other. You can see how if you cut off one strand of that spider web, you're not only going to affect that strand, but you're actually going to create a ripple effect in the whole web of the spider. And this is a very profound realization because it means that every action that we take is going to create a ripple effect in that vast network of the universe. And when we understand that energy is the basic building block of life, then we can realize that within our body, the basic building block of our body is also energy. And with this understanding of the universe and how everything is interconnected, we can now dive into the energetics of you. This is understanding your energetic anatomy, which not many people really know about. That missing link will give you all of the answers that you've been seeking all along. Let's explain the energetics of you in a very cool analogy. We have energy, we have our nervous system, and then we have our physical body. Most people only know that they have a physical body, but the thing that animates that physical body is the nervous system and the brain. But what animates the nervous system? What gives energy and life force to this nervous system? The answer is the subtle body. This is your energetical body, which means that with the naked eye, you can't really see it. But if you were to look at a white or a black wall and you put your fingers, and if you focus your vision in the middle of these two fingers, you will actually see for yourself that when you do this for about 30 to 60 seconds, you can actually start seeing these subtle energy fields with your eye. It's a really cool experience, which I encourage you and invite you to do. And when we know this, we become aware that all of our body is in a way connected to this deeper energy body. So what is the subtle body made out of? The subtle body is made out of your chakras, which are energetical organs. They're made out of meridians and what we call the auric field, which is almost what we can say an electromagnetic field. To understand the relationship between your physical body, your nervous system, and your subtle body, let's look at a very grounded example and analogy. I want you to think of your subtle body as the power source of a computer. Your nervous system is like the software of that computer, which takes in energy from that power source and then it distributes it to all of the areas of the computer so that it can power up in a function. In the same way, your nervous system takes in the energy from your subtle body and then it distributes it to all of the parts of your physical body that need nourishment, aliveness, and vitality. So with this understanding, we can see how true health and well-being, psychologically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, is not rooted in the physical body, but actually rooted at the level of cause, at the level of your energy. And so in this analogy of the computer, I want you to think of your hard drive as your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind, or the hardware of that computer, stores all of your beliefs, your core values, your limiting beliefs, your trauma, your suppressed emotions. And that hard drive then starts to create viruses. I want you to think of viruses as imbalances or blockages in your energy field, in the power source. And what this means is, imagine you're getting a brand new iPhone 14, but then when you open it up, you only have a 10% battery capacity. How much time do you think this iPhone is going to be able to stay alive before you need to recharge it again and again and again? And this analogy is really powerful because it allows you to see how when we have so many blockages on an energetic level, on the subtle body, our battery capacity is at maximum 5 to 10%. And then we ask ourselves, why is it that we're so tired or drained, or that we're getting so triggered, or that we're so anxious and stressed? And we think it's all because of a cause from our bodies or from an external source. But in reality, we haven't even become aware of the power source that is powering up the entire computer. And so with this understanding, we can start to connect the dots and realize that if we truly want to unlock the full potential of our minds, and if we want to heal, if we want to transform and change who we are, we're not going to be able to do that from a physical, emotional level. We actually have to go back to the power source of energy and then shift from there. And this is where the art of energy healing comes in. Because with these principles being understood, then we know that everything is energy. And what better tool to use to transform ourselves than energy itself, right? If we're using energy, that means that we are going directly to that power source and we're fixing it, right? Maybe before that power source or the charger of the computer was all wonky, or it was old, right? And it was like you needed to maybe fold it or do a couple of twists or knots for it to function. That's what happens when you have old chargers. But then when you go back to the roots and you start using energy healing, it's almost like you're going to the repair shop and you're sending your iPhone, you're getting a new battery, or you're getting a new charger for your computer, so that the capacity of that battery is now 100%. And that is the art in a nutshell of energy healing, with the principle that everything is energy, and with the principle that imbalances or blocks are like viruses that slow down the computer. Then you can see energy healing almost as a virus scan, where on an energetic level, we're actually scanning your subtle body. We're becoming aware of different imbalances and blocks that are preventing the natural flow of energy to come up from the subtle body to your nervous system and finally to your physical body. And so what energy healing does, in very simple terms, is that it runs that scan, scans your whole body, looks for any imbalance, and then it actually releases that virus so that your computer doesn't go back to glitching or to operating at a very slow level. So energy healing allows you to upgrade your operating system and to clean and release any viruses that are right now operating in your computer. So now that we know this deeper understanding of ourselves and how everything is affected by energy and everything is interconnected by energy, how can we use this understanding to unlock the true potential of our minds? I want you to imagine that right now You have invisible blocks that are preventing you from reaching your full potential. And these invisible blocks are stored in that hard drive of your computer. Energy healing is such a revolutionary tool that allows you to release those viruses and those blocks from the root cause, so that you don't have to repeat and re-experience that negatively polarized mental, emotional pattern. To give you a real life example, imagine that when you were growing up, let's say that you were rejected, and in that moment, maybe you were 5, 6, or 7 years old, you experienced an emotionally charged event that was really painful for you. And in a way, you decided to close your heart because you received a formula that might have said, if I express my love, or if I express myself, or if I'm being my true self, then I will be rejected, or I will be hurt, or I will be abandoned. And that formula gets stored in our hard drive, inside our subconscious mind, and on an energetical level. So imagine that limiting belief now being stored in the subconscious mind. And what happens, which is truly fascinating, is if you, in a way, have a belief that you're not lovable from that experience that I gave you, then most likely that limiting belief is going to be stored in the heart, but not on the physical heart, the energetical heart of your subtle body. And that's why then you feel like you're closed off, or that you're isolated, or that you believe that you cannot be loved or loving. It's because there's a limiting belief that is operating on an invisible level that says, I am unlovable. And so the revolution that I discovered that completely transformed my life was to know, use, and experience energy healing to remove those invisible blocks. Because if we don't treat these blocks and limiting beliefs at the root cause, then they might be stuck with us for the rest of our lives. You know those people that it seems that they're always going through the same thing over and over and over again? Well, that is because whatever energy they have within them that they can't see is working like a magnet, right? We talked about how the subtle body has a part that is called the auric field. This is your electromagnetic field that is all around you, and it works like a magnet. And that magnet attracts whatever you believe inside. So if you have negative polarized beliefs about yourself and about life, it's almost like that energy is calling in life, and it's sending a message to life that says, this is who I am, this is my truth. Please send me something to confirm that this aligns with my truth, that this is real. And so people will look for evidence always to reconfirm that what they believe is true. So people will stay stuck in the same relationships, or in the same problem, or in the same pattern, and they try to fix it at the level of the effect. But now you have a deeper understanding of how everything originates in the power source. And that's where we really need to work on, in shifting that energy into upgrading our battery capacity. And this is something that I'm going to be presenting to you in later episodes. I'm going to give you tools to go into that subtle body and release those invisible blocks that are preventing you from reaching your full potential. So to recap this episode, I hope that you now have a more holistic understanding of yourself, of energy, and of the universe around us. We talked about the quantum field and how everything is interconnected, how the basic building block of life is energy. We talked about the anatomy within you that perhaps you didn't know, which is your subtle body, and how your subtle body actually gives health and vitality to your nervous system, and how your nervous system gets vitality to your physical body. Everything is interconnected in that sense. And finally, we talked about the art of energy healing, and how energy healing is almost like a virus scan that is looking for different blocks and imbalances and limiting beliefs inside your hard drive, which is your subconscious mind, and how it releases those viruses so that your computer can operate smoothly, so that you can upgrade your operating system and increase your performance. And this is how ultimately, in real life, you achieve bigger and better things. This is how you become limitless. And that's why this episode is called The Limitless Mind. As we gain a deeper understanding of how everything works around us, we can use those principles to, for lack of a better word, bend reality and create an extraordinary life. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm JP Boyd, and I will see you on the next week. Today's episode is brought to you by Transcendence Healing, aka me. I have one overarching goal, and that is to help you remove the blocks that are preventing you from reaching your full potential and making a bigger impact in the world. This is the journey that I've been obsessed over the last 5 years, and this is how Transcendence Healing was born. Transcendence Healing is a holistic blend of brainwave state change, of energy healing, and subconscious reprogramming that allows you to instantly experience permanent and profound transformations in all areas of your life. I feel that it is now time to bring this to a community, to scale this goodness, and to give these tools to people who want to learn them for themselves, for their loved ones, and perhaps even for their clients. This is Transcendence University, the all-inclusive online community where you get access to weekly calls with me, where you get access to the entire framework, the 12 steps of Transcendence Healing, where you go on a journey and you clear on all 12 dimensions of your life all of those invisible blocks that are preventing you from reaching your full potential. You're going to get access to so many resources, connections, experiences. I invite you to join Transcendence University. That's going to be the journey of a lifetime. Very excited to see you on the other side and connect with you.